let's put the Dakota War into perspective before we jump to the conclusion that those 38 men that were hung in the largest public execution deserve to be hung and were all guilty of, child killing, women killing, civilian killing. First and foremost, those 358 civilians didn't die in one raid to kick the war off. That was the entirety of the war all put together. Yes, there are estimates that go higher. Yes, there are estimates that go lower. And by no means am I saying that civilian casualties are okay. If you watch my channel enough, you know I'm very much against that. But let's put it into perspective. The United States government forced the Dakota onto these reservations, ceded all their hunting ground, told them that they could farm without proper means to be able to do that. These are people who never had farmed before. They were hunters. And then, said, don't worry, we're not going to let you starve. We're going to give you regular food shipments and money for the land that we took, and then didn't give them those food shipments. They then start to starve. The civilian population that has moved in and taken over all that territory that was once theirs goes and intentionally overhunts the region, and then now they have no way to hunt themselves. On top of that, there's a bad round of crops. These individuals were legitimately starving. They go to the settlers and the traders of the Sioux Agency to try to get food by trade. They either, at the best case, get cheated, or at the worst case, just get refused service altogether. In fact, Merrick, one of the traders, says, if they're starving, let them eat grass. You then have 4 youth, young adults, who go on a raid near Acton Township, and whether it was intentional or not, we don't know. They wind up killing 5 people. They then go back where Little Crow goes, oh shit, we inadvertently started a war, and then decides to go ahead and attack the Sioux Agency because they were going to come for him anyways, and they were specifically targeting the traders. Merrick, the one that says let him eat grass, yeah, he's going to bite it. They then raid, kill civilians, capture people. By all means, that is awful, and anybody who participated in that should have been held to account and had a fair trial. But keep in mind, only 1,000 to 6,500 Dakota participated in that. That didn't matter. That didn't stop the U.S. government from taking over 1,500 of them and putting them into a fort, where a lot of them are going to die of disease and malnutrition because we weren't keeping care of them in that fucking fort either. There were 300 that are going to be convicted and sentenced to death in sham military trials, a lot of them not even lasting 5 minutes. That's not legal due process of their rights. They got hosed in a military tribunal, not a civilian set of courts. Lincoln goes over, looks at all the reviews, and exonerates everybody, or at least gets rid of the cumulative death sentence of everybody but 38. One of those 38 that are going to get hung, by the way, was actually pardoned by Lincoln because he saved a white woman and was actually not a part of the raids at all and was completely and totally innocent, but he's still going to get hung. Oops, I guess we mixed up their names and hung the wrong guy. Huh. Weird. So we know for a fact that those 38 that died, there's at least one innocent person a part of them. We know that they did not get their due process of law. So look, civilian casualties, that's very bad. They should have been held to account. But you do that with the right due process. And maybe we don't violate our treaties and actually fulfill our promises so that a population that is theoretically a part of us doesn't fucking starve. But yes, sure, Nuremberg trials.